All right. Well, good morning, everyone. We're going to Walmart today. Get some cocksucking battery bank over here. I'd say it's pretty exciting. My winter coat on, dressed for the weather. Okay, I learned my lesson last time when I went to get donuts. And I was thinking of getting some weed. And I thought that's probably unhealthy. You know, because then you think, well, get some mushrooms, get some acid. And I don't really like going down that route because it doesn't really help me spiritually. I mean, supposing you have an elevated consciousness while you're high, some people would argue that you don't. You're actually more unconscious, and as such, you think that you're more conscious. But even supposing that you do have an elevated consciousness while you're high, and it's going to somehow benefit you, well, when the drug wears off, then you're pretty much screwed. And I love getting high. In fact, I wanted to go get some weed and bake it and eat it and have a psychedelic trip. It's about the same price as a tab of acid. Thought about ordering some shrooms. I just got a check from the government for HST or something like that. So I have some food money now. And I have some drug money. And I thought, instead of getting drugs, why don't I just stay sober? And speaking of sobriety, I ate 5 apples for breakfast this morning. It was crazy. It was fucking painful. Have you ever tried eating 5 big apples picked when they're ripe? I mean, it was a huge bowl. It was excessive. If you were to go to a family party and it's a serve yourself, if you filled your bowl up with that much food, everyone would be looking at you funny. And by the end of it, I was almost gagging. I was so full. I was almost in pain. I peeled the apples. I cut them up into bite-sized chunks. Now here's an example. You'll always notice someone synchronizing with me on this bridge here. And it doesn't matter what time I'm here. You can see they're both doing their hand gestures. And the guy has his cell phone out. I could come to this bridge when there's none of the surrounding stores that are even open. But there will always be synchronizers on this bridge. So one of the things that really irks me about GoPro is you have these batteries that last like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And the official GoPro battery lasts like an hour or more, which is very awesome. But then they have these external power banks that hold like 8 hours worth of footage. And so I'm just thinking of getting one of those. So they have those at Walmart. But my fruit was amazing. I mean, having that much fruit really helped. And I feel like a bore as well. I'm considering that perhaps I am. It's not that. It's just some technicality that's wrong. But in fact, I literally, genuinely am boring. I guess I just don't have anything to talk about. But, you know, what I base that on is there's this other TI I watch, and she gets like, and I don't mean to harp on this too much. I feel embarrassed when I harp on this too much. She gets like, if she gets 50 views, she'll have 10 upvotes, 10 likes. But she'll post even a video where she's not even talking, and she'll still get those 10 likes. And so I kind of feel like that's a bad criteria to judge whether I'm boring on. Like, if she can get all those likes just for literally posting, like, a tree, like if I posted a tree, that wouldn't happen. So clearly there's some crowd favoritism going on. I mean, she's one of my favorites too. I'm not even jealous. I mean, I watch her all the time. I don't particularly watch the videos where she doesn't talk. I like hearing her voice. But she's one of those people who I just like hearing her voice, and I could basically fall asleep to her voice. And not because she's boring, but because she just is comforting. There's a few of those. You know, it's typically women, but sometimes it's a dude. But usually, if on a long enough timeline, if I keep listening to the guy, except for very few, I'll usually at some point go, I think I'll stick with the women. And I think that's natural too, just because I'm a guy. So if I get this power bank, I'll be able to have unlimited battery, like 8 hours of battery, which is kind of silly because my memory card only lasts for 2 hours, but it has been something I've been searching for a while, a new GoPro battery, because I have 3 of them, but the knockoff ones, they only last for like 30 minutes. And I hate that. And then the real one, if you want to replace that, it costs like $80. Because it's a GoPro 8, if you wanted to get a new one for a GoPro 9 or above, because the GoPro 9, 10, 11, and 12 all take the same battery. Now, if it's a holiday, I'm going to be surprised. I think it's Sunday. If the Walmart is closed, I'm going to be very surprised here. Doesn't look like it. I do love my e-bike. I have wondered too, I mean, I put this filter on my song. I made it sound like a real deep voice of a man. It was in the previous video I made. But I was playing around with the filters, and there's actually a filter for making your voice into a woman's voice too. And I thought that sounded pretty cool. I almost put that as the filter for the song instead. But I sometimes wonder, if I was a girl, would I get more people? And I'm not fishing here. If I was a girl, would I have more people? Would I have more fans? Is it just something that simple? Okay. Man, this is difficult. What really makes this difficult is the fact that I'm wearing a coat that's 2 sizes too small. Okay, so I think we're about locked up here. Let's hope this guy doesn't steal my bike seat. I don't think he will. So basically what we're looking for is vegan lindors and a power bank. And if Walmart's closed, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go totally nuts. Oh, perfect. You gotta love Walmart. I had a friend once who used to call this place Score Mart. And we had kind of a falling out. He stepped on my pillow with his shoes. And I talked about him before. Okay, so if we go to the lint store, I mean, maybe I'm not boring after all. I don't know. If the two girls who talk to me aren't gang stalkers, I'd say that's a sign I'm pretty cool. But damn it, where's the fucking chocolate? At the lint store, these cost $12.99. And here, apparently, if they even have them, which they said they did, but irresistibly milk fat. They said they had them on the website. Oh, could you imagine this? If that was vegan. Reese. Gang stalker here, most likely. Looks like a gang stalker. I have already looked, and now coffee cups are another part of my targeting. So you can see right here, this is most likely a gang stalker. I bet he's not going to get anything in this aisle. Where the fuck? I mean, they said they had them on the website. Oh, look, vegan. Look at that. Just, gonna hover. I don't like that these are green, though. $9.99. Wow. Vegan original. Yeah, okay. These are $10 for 120 grams. Yeah, I'm not rich. Okay, this is not something I would normally do. Okay, I'm making a very rare exception right now. I mean, I'm not buying drugs. I would have a good time on weed, I swear. And I could probably change a lot of my habits on weed. I mean, whenever I smoke, I'm more disciplined, actually. You know, like, I ate those 5 apples, then I ate some spring rolls, I ate some cooked food. If I was smoking weed, I would just stick with the apples. I guess it kind of curbs your appetite. Or it gives you some kind of entertainment so that you don't need to use fruit. Or cooked food, I mean, for entertainment so much. So I'm going to tilt the camera down for privacy reasons. And see if they have a power bank. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you have a certain product I was looking for? It's, what was it? A portable charger.
Portable charger?
Yeah, also referred to as a power bank.
Yeah.
And I saw one on the website. I think it was $20 and it was black.
So this is what I have here. It's cheaper online than it would be in the store.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? Do you have to order it from another country, or it takes like a while to deliver or something?
No, you just order it online and then you pick the address and where you want it delivered and
Weird.
pay for it and deliver it.
Okay.
So this is everything I have there.
Okay, 4,000. This one looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that one's $12.97.
Yeah. Okay. Can I buy that one?
Sure, of course. Is that everything?
I think so, unless you have those mini USB-C cords.
This is all my cords. These are phone charger cords, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it you're looking for?
Well, it's one of these ones. I want basically this, but I want this to be angled on a right angle so I can plug it into my camera. But it actually probably doesn't matter. I think I can do without the USB-C cord.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll just buy this.
Okay.
4,000. Yeah, it's great out. Can I take a look at that? I want to make sure it has the right cords to plug in. You know, like the.
You won't be able to see the cords that are in the box.
Oh, I can see it. It actually
Can
looks
you?
like it's turned on too. There's some lights on it.
Shouldn't be.
We got to get. We might need to get more groceries actually, like some chippies. I'm not exactly sure. What do I need here? Some chippies. What else? I kind of want to do a water fast. I might need a snack for tonight. I mean, it's technically morning time, but my bedtime is at like 11 a.m., which sucks. I'd really like to change that, but part of me is saying, well, who cares? Just eat some chocolate. That'll have lots of caffeine. That'll keep you up. Oh, you know what I would love is some chana masala. That would be the best. Oh, international. If you think this displeases me, you'd be correct. Hello. Good morning. Well, it wasn't so bad. Being a little social here and there. Try to talk in my ASMR voice. What the fuck? I thought they had chana masala here. I mean, if it's not in the international food aisle, where would it be? That's just absurd. No, that's absurd. Oh my god. I can't believe it. Okay, well, let me get some chippies. And I think that's about everything I need. Have some bubbly at home. You know, they have lots of vegan meats here too. They're typically not that good. Oh, and they have some good sauces. Italian, golden Italian is amazing. I think what I like about the storytelling of this one particular girl who I watch on YouTube, who I feel distinctly is not boring, who I wish I could be like her, is she has a coherence. There's some kind of thread, and I feel like I have that sometimes, but most of the time I don't. Coherence, like she's talking about something and it lasts for the whole video, like she has like a theme, whereas when I talk it's just commentary on oh, here's some Reese Pieces, and here's some oh, look, a squirrel, and it's just kind of it's just kind of, you know, without anything gluing it together. Okay. So the thing I love about Walmart too is if you have anything you have to take back, like this power bank, for example, if it doesn't work, then I can easily bring it back. Now, fingers crossed that my bike seat isn't stolen. Oh, and you know what? I did think of getting some water, because there's this one TI I watch. She's one of the ones who I can fall asleep to. And she did a drug test, and she found barbiturates in her body. And I've heard that from multiple TIs that were drugged And I thought, I bet they could do it through the water supply. And what if that's why Richard is sick? Richard is my cat, and there's something definitely wrong with him. We can't figure out what it is. Could it be that's barbiturates in the drinking water? I mean, the people doing this to us are the same ones who would take down an entire plane just to get one person. They certainly don't have the welfare of anyone in mind. Now this is even better because this power bank I got for only $12, it'll probably only last a couple, 2 or 3 hours. And that's the only amount of time that my memory card will last anyways. So a bigger power bank, which I was planning on getting, would be overkill anyways. All I'm trying to do is just not be gross. And my God, those apples really helped. I thought a lot more clearly. I know no one, I feel really boring saying that. No one wants to hear about that. Like, hey, did you know it pays to be healthy? Have you heard about the miraculous power of fruit? I know that no one wants to, but I felt so good afterwards. And I started thinking more clearly, like, a lot of the gang stalking is, in origin at least, hypothetical. As in, where does it start? Why am I targeted? And sometimes I have a lot of trauma around that. And when I was more healthy after eating fruit, thinking more clearly, I was thinking back to a different time when I was targeted that I normally don't think to. I normally think, oh, here's what got me targeted, and that's really traumatizing, and I can't believe that that's what it was. And then I was thinking, no, I've been, holding simultaneous contradicting realities. That half of me is thinking, yeah, that's really traumatizing, but then I'm also frequently, there's a car like right behind me, which is super weird. I mean, I'm going 23 kilometers an hour. I guess he turned in there. So basically, I'm thinking back to this certain gang stalker, who's a pretty hot fantasy, really. How she gang stalked me, and how gang stalking is an open air prison, and how if a prison guard has sex with an inmate, that's rape, and how basically I was being trafficked, and it's so hot, it's such a hot fantasy. And part of me is also saying, and then 5 years later is when I actually got targeted, and it was so painful, and how could they do that to me, and it's so unfair. But meanwhile, I'm thinking about this person as a gang stalker who was targeting me way before then. And that's contradictory. It doesn't make sense. And a lot of times I'm so, whoa, oh my God, that squirrel ran right in front of my tire. Wow, that squirrel was fucked up. Oh my God. So anyways, before that squirrel almost mentally scarred me, I think I have a good camera angle, actually. I'm not even going to change it. I'm liking this camera angle. So I'm holding these realities where I'm suffering and, on behalf of all the different hypothetical things that it might be. Oh, it was this person who got me targeted and when I was 25, and it was this other person who got me targeted when I was 20, and it was this other person who got me targeted when I was 12. And it was all three of them, and each one of them was the only one, and it wasn't the other ones. But I'll just cycle back and forth. And so I think there's a innate human tendency towards confirmation bias or seeking closure if you don't understand something. I think there's an old adage about it that if you lose a nail under a street lamp, or if you lose a nail and you realize it's lost and you're under a street lamp, you'll just look under the street lamp because everywhere else is dark and it's the only place you can see. And so when I was thinking more clearly last night, and well today, it made me realize that I actually don't know. And can you just sit with that? Well, of course not. I'm the smartest person alive. I'm the wisest person alive, the strongest. You can't trick me. I have the brains of Wesley from The Princess Bride, and the steel of Inigo, and the strength of Fezzik. Or, you can't run one over on me. And then it struck me, I really don't know. I wish I could ask. There should be someone. I wish I could ask the Gangstalkers, how did this start? Did you do it to me? Did you do it to me? And last night I did come to a somewhat new conclusion, but I held it more loosely as well. It was an old conclusion, but the old conclusion was going back and forth, and it was a bit different too. I had a main suspicion, and then after realizing I wasn't really so sure last night, I started to ponder, oh, maybe it was this other person. I'll bet. And then I have superstition sometimes, and I'm not really sure what I think about that, if it's just bona fide crazy or not. But there was this one girl who I used to nickname her Mother, and that has nothing to do with my mom. It just had everything to do with that she was a very mothering type of person. Like, she was there to basically gang stalk me, smother me, tell me how to live. So I nicknamed her Mother. And sometimes the image of the word mother written out will flash in my head, oh, mother. And then I'll take it as a sign, oh, that's Mother, that's that girl who targeted me. That's what it is. It's my subconscious mind, which is way smarter than my conscious mind. And it's telling me that it's that girl who I nicknamed Mother. She's the one who targeted me. And all these things she said that confirmed it. Like, one time she said, don't worry if you can't remember me. And it was very odd. I was like, of course I remember you. You're like one of the most significant people in my life. And you might say, well, that's just what a friend would say to you. It's poking fun. Of course, I'm recognizing. She also said to me once, do you ever listen to the song At Last while thinking of me? And At Last is a song about, at last my love has come along, and it's finding your true love. But the context that she was saying it in was very dark, because I was super in love with her, and she was just lording it over me, teasing me. And she had been so angry at me, so rude to me, utterly indifferent towards me, just discarding me. And then out of context, she comes back and she says, hey, don't worry if you can't remember me. Do you remember me? And so it wasn't contextually right, as if she was like a friend. It was more dark and scary, and I was very scared of her. And last night I was thinking, I wonder, I could almost imagine it's her, but ultimately I don't know. And that was some kind of a psychological shift. It was a relief, because it can work you up if you're getting angry at phantoms, at hypotheses. You could blame the whole world, feel completely hard done by. And the other thing about this power bank that will probably only last for about 2 hours is my preamp for my microphone will also probably only last about 2 hours. So I basically just got like a 2 or 3 hour GoPro battery here, with the only downside of it being that it has to plug into the camera, which is kind of cumbersome. But you know what else has to plug into the camera is the preamp, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Man, I can't wait to try these chocolates.